Hello Year 5, welcome to Thursday's English, where we are still looking at applying our embedded clause knowledge. Now remember, your embedded clause is going to sit in the middle of a sentence, it's going to have sandwich bread of commas, and if you take it out, the sentence will still make sense without it. Okay, so talking to somebody else if you're messaging someone at home while you do your lessons, or going solo. Which is the biggest thrill ride that we read about in Infinity Park, in Cosmic? Which was the biggest ride, the scariest ride, the ride that made even Liam overwhelmed? What was the ride? Can you remember the name? And can you remember how it worked? Dun dun dun. How much do you remember? Maybe write down some notes to remind yourself. Okay, how correct were you? Well, the ride in question was called the Vortex. Dun dun dun. It was the Vortex, and I think it was this big one here in our little picture there. That's what I think of it as anyway. So what you need to do is pause me here, remember how far into the video you are, and then go and listen to Monday's guided reading video. Again, listen to Mrs. Elmore reading that chapter 202 to 211. Find out more about the vortex. Maybe make some notes, jot some things down to help you, because later on we'll be writing about the vortex. Okay, welcome back. What did you find out about the vortex? Did you find out how many G's there were? And what does G's mean anyway? So if I was at 5G, for example, I would be having 5 times the amount of gravity act on me than normal. So I'd feel really heavy. And I'd really struggle to lift my arms up because the force of gravity will be pushing me down so strongly. Now do you remember what it felt like inside the machine? How did Liam and Florida feel on the first time, the second time, the third time, and the fourth time that Liam went in? He went in 4 times. That is crazy. I'm not even sure I would be brave enough to go in once. Okay, so today we're going to be writing an operating manual for the vortex. Now, operating manual is a very fancy way of saying an instruction guide. It's telling someone how to operate the vortex. So have a listen to what I did first. It says, firstly, if you are under the age of 11, step away from the simulator. This level of machinery, developed over the last 20 years, is far too advanced for children to be operating. Seek assistance from a grown-up. This safety manual, in all its glory, will provide you with all of the information that you will need to ensure that you do not put yourself or anyone else in danger. It is essential that it is read possibly multiple times to protect those in the immediate environment around you. Dun dun dun. So I got 2 steps there. Introducing my operating manual. So what I want you to do is pause me here. Have a think about which parts of my waggle here are embedded clauses. Now I'll give you a hint. There's quite a few of them. I wonder if you can find all of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my video, I'm going to underline them, and then in 3 seconds I will unpause my video so that you can match up your answers. Did you manage to find all of them? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Did you find all 5 examples of embedded clauses? I've only got 2 sections and I've got 5 embedded clauses. I have underlined them and circled my comma sandwich parts as well, just so that I can remind myself that my embedded clauses need a comma piece of bread on either side. Okay, so what we're going to do together now is we're going to write the next line about how to increase the gravity in the vortex. Now, in the story, it doesn't really tell us what the people who are operating the vortex does. So this is where I can use a little bit of my imagination. And I can give some top tips for what it might feel like inside the machine. Okay, so let me get my thing ready. Now, normally in class, we would do this together. but obviously we can't do it together at the moment. However, you are welcome to pause me and have a go yourself first, and please share any sentences with me that you come up with. Okay. To set the gravity level, comma, which is really important. How can we upscale really important? Oh, I could use vital, which is vital. You first need to set the switches to number 4, because they start on 4G, don't they? That's the starting level. Was it 5G? I think it was 5G. I'm going to change that to 5. To number 5. And then I'm going to explain that 5G is the base level of the machine. Now, I've got 5G as the base level of the machine. It's the lowest level. Can I add anything else? 5G, or maybe I could do 5G, although very strong, because it is, although very strong, is the base level of the machine. Let me see if I can extend this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now I've got to set the gravity level, comma, which is vital, comma, nice relative embedded clause there. You first need to set the switches to number 5. 5G, although very strong, is the base level of the machine. Very good. Right, can I add another bit to this section? Or I could probably add something about what 5G stands for, what the G stands for. I'm going to say, remember that, I'm just going to fully move this away now. There we go. G stands for gravity, so 5G is 5 times the normal gravity. I think that's really important information for the user, the operator of the vortex to know. They need to know that 5G stands for 5 times the normal gravity. Okay, now, do I need to upscale that sentence? Remember that G stands for gravity, so 5G is 5 times the normal gravity when you are using the vortex. Okay, to set the gravity level, which is vital, you first need to set the switches to number 5. Okay, 5G, although very strong, is the base level of the machine. It's the lowest level. Remember that G stands for gravity, so 5G is 5 times the normal gravity when you are using the vortex. Now, I've spotted a marvellous mistake in that final sentence. I extended it so that I could use this part as an embedded clause, but I haven't got 2 commas. So where should I put my comma? Have a think. Where should my comma go? Okay, read it out loud to help you. Remember that G stands for gravity, so 5G is 5 times the normal gravity when you are using the vortex. So it goes before my so. Okay, remember that G stands for gravity, breath, so 5G is 5 times the normal gravity when you are using the vortex. A little bit of exaggerated breathing there, just to get that clear. Right, so now I've got 3 sentences with an embedded clause in each of them. Now it is your turn. Can you write an operating manual for somebody who is using the vortex? Can you use a range of embedded clauses and any other skills you want to show off in your writing? Now I'm going to set you a challenge today, because often when I get some English work from you, there's so many brilliant relatively embedded clauses, because that's something we're really keen on. It's something we've practiced before and we feel really secure. So I'm going to say that you can only use one of each relative embedded clause. So you can use who 1 time, which 1 time, when 1 time, whose, that And what's the last one I haven't said? Well, you can only use them all one time. And then I want to see a range of embedded clauses. Can you add the information without relying on those relative embedded clauses? That's your challenge today. Please send them to me in an email. I'd love to hear how you get on, or read how you get on. Have a fantastic Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow for Friday's lesson. Bye, guys.